Hello, this is D, and I'm back with another video. And today we have so many leaks. Now, all these leaks are coming from Xbox. There's so many leaks, I don't even know where to start. Now, apparently these leaks are coming from the FTC. It looks like some intern released all of the information. Now, I'm not quite sure if this is supposed to be made public. I'm a little bit confused on some of the stuff that's going on right now. Now, yesterday's information, all the stuff that I talked about yesterday, I thought that that was just public available information. But these internal documents that have come out in the last 24 hours, apparently they're not supposed to be made public. Now, as I get more information, I'll keep you guys up to date, but apparently it looks like the FTC is a leaky faucet at the moment. And I gotta be honest with you guys, a lot of the information that we're getting out, it doesn't really help Xbox. Now, some of this stuff is a little bit interesting. Some of the stuff that we're going to talk about today, I can see it upsetting a lot of fans. I don't think Xbox fans, more Xbox haters at what Xbox was attempting to and what they want to do. Now, of course, Microsoft, they want to be the leaders. They want to be top of the food chain, and there is nothing wrong with that. They want to compete. Sony right now, they have the market shares. They're the market leaders. I would say them and Nintendo. Microsoft is definitely in third place, and they want to change that. Now, we have some internal documents from Microsoft where Xbox chief Phil Spencer is discussing Nintendo as a potential acquisition, as well as Warner Brothers. We're also going to talk about the PlayStation 5 reveal, what Phil Spencer said to his team directly after that. We're also going to go into new hardware from Xbox. That's right. New hardware is coming and it was leaked. We're also going to find out when the next generation, the full next generation of Xbox will begin. All of this stuff was leaked. So we got a lot to talk about today. So we're just going to start it off with the internal Microsoft email from Phil Spencer discussing Nintendo as a potential acquisition target. Now, Phil Spencer was talking to Takashi. I don't know who this guy is. And he goes on to say, I totally agree that Nintendo is the prime asset for us in gaming. And today, gaming is our most likely path to consumer relevance. I've had numerous conversations with the LT of Nintendo and tight collaborations and feel like any US company would have a chance with Nintendo. And we are probably in the best position. Now, I'm not going to go through the entire document because we have a lot of stuff to talk about today, but this is crazy. So Microsoft actually wanted to buy Nintendo. Now, this is, of course, before the ZeniMax and all the other deals. They were dead set on getting Nintendo, and that's very interesting. I don't know how Nintendo would be if it was run by Microsoft. I have like a love-hate relationship with Nintendo. I don't like that their graphics, they're just not very detailed, but their games are extremely fun. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, lately I've been getting back into some Nintendo games because I have a 5-year-old son and he really likes Mario. And as I get back into these games, I realize how fun they are. So I understand why people like these games. Also, Breath of the Wild. I played that game, I cleared it. Tears of the Kingdom. I cleared that game recently. Now, I didn't really clear it on Nintendo. I cleared it on another platform, but we're not going to talk about that here. Nonetheless, the game was pretty good. So, I got to be honest here. Nintendo, I just don't like their hardware. I think their software, their games are fun. I just don't like the graphic fidelity of it. But that's all about to change. I haven't really even talked about it on this channel. So, we're just going to go a little bit into that. Nintendo is having a Switch 2. Now, we've known about this for quite some time, but it's starting to leak information about it. We got a little bit of information about it during the FTC versus Microsoft trial, that they are going to have hardware that will be capable of running the latest Call of Duty. Now, recently we found out that the Matrix demo, the Unreal Engine 5 demo was running on the Switch 2 hardware. There's some reports saying that it's going to be at least as powerful as a PS4. Now, I would think it's going to be more powerful than a PS4 if it's going to be running Unreal Engine 5. So if Nintendo can deliver a system that can play modern day games, that is going to be a big deal. Now, we're going to get to that when we get to that. As more information comes out about that, we're going to talk about it on the channel. Just wanted to throw that out there just to give you my thoughts on Nintendo. Now, Microsoft purchasing Nintendo, I can see a lot of people are probably angry about this news. And I don't know how Microsoft would handle Nintendo. Nintendo is just so different in everything that they do. And I just think Nintendo, it needs to remain in the market. I think they make great titles. They just need to have better hardware so they can display better graphics and be a little bit more up to date, a little bit more modern. Next, we're going to talk about Phil Spencer's reaction to the PlayStation 5 reveal, what he said to his team. Now, as you can see on these documents, like they have exhibit number. So this leak, like, it's unbelievable. I don't understand why this is leaking out. And all signs point to the FTC. I'm going to have to dig more into this. And as I get more information, I'll put it up on the screen. I'll put it in the comment sections. I just woke up this morning. I'm seeing all of this news. And I decided, you know what? I think I should talk about this. But it's not a good thing that all of these leaks are just about Xbox. How come none of these documents have anything regarding Sony? How come it's only Xbox documents that have leaked? The FTC, it's just so incompetent. And I really think they're being petty at this moment. Why would you let the competition see all of their plans, what's going forward in the future? These stuff are supposed to be confidential. I just don't get it. Anyways, in the letter he says, even as I type this, I know I shouldn't, but I can't help myself. We've all lived with 7 years as starting off the generation with a price and performance and messaging disadvantage to the PS4 with the Xbox One. I have to admit this morning when I woke up knowing the PlayStation 5 reveal was today that the stress level was higher than normal. Now, after almost 12 hours of soaking their unveiling in, taking apart their specs, and looking into the community responses, I just wanted to say that I'm proud of our team. We have a better product than Sony does, not just the hardware, but equally important on the software platform and services on top of the hardware. We have the ingredients to a winning plan. I feel like the feedback from the BOD discussions on being too confident, and maybe this will just reinforce that perception. I get the need to be humbly confident, but today was a good day for us. We haven't won anything, and I know we have hard discussions about pricing, P&L, investments, etc. The mail isn't trying to scoop any of that. Those discussions really matter, but we can take confidence in our product truth here, and I do believe any conversation needs to start with believing in that. This was a good day for Xbox. Thanks for indulging me, Phil. Now, man, there's a lot to digest there. So he was feeling really confident after the PlayStation 5 reveal, and he should have, because the 12 teraflops performance is better than the 10 teraflops performance on the PlayStation 5. The SSD wouldn't be a sign for concern because anyone that knows hardware knows that if you have a faster SSD, it's likely just going to result in a couple of seconds, maybe 5 seconds, quicker loading times. And in the scheme of things, that really isn't much. Now, having more capable hardware, having more features like VRS, like mesh shaders, this was an advantage over the PlayStation 5. Now, the problem is that developers are not using these features. VRS is rarely used, and when it's used, it's not even used that well. Sometimes the image quality is worse. Mesh shaders, I don't even know any game that has used mesh shaders. The velocity stuff, it hasn't been used. FSR is being used, but it's not being used as much as it should be. A lot of games could benefit from using FSR, and developers just aren't using it. And you have FSR 2, which is much better than the original FSR. And now we have FSR 3, which has been confirmed by AMD to run on the Xbox console. So developers need to really start using this hardware to its fullest. And I get it. Like yesterday's video, when I was talking about it, some people got pretty upset. They were like, quick resume. You know, that kind of negates the faster SSD that is in the PlayStation 5. Yes and no, but honestly, the PlayStation 5's SSD, it is faster, and in a like-to-like situation, you will see that it will load games a little bit quicker. Now, the back-compatible games definitely do run better on the Series X, but I think that comes down more to the software than the SSD. It is what it is. Nonetheless, in the scheme of things, it doesn't really matter. Yes, the Xbox Series X does perform better in some titles than the PlayStation 5. Right now on the screen, I have A Plague's Tale. This ran better on the Xbox Series X versus the PlayStation 5. So there are some titles where the Xbox does run better than the PlayStation 5. There's some titles where they run neck and neck. There's some titles where the PlayStation 5 runs better than the Series X. It is what it is. I do believe that developers need to use the features. Like I've stated, they're not using it, and right now, both consoles are performing relatively the same. So this advantage was never really gained by Microsoft. I just got to be honest here. This generation, we're just not seeing Xbox games really perform so much better than the PlayStation 5. Now, hopefully that will change in the future as developers start to use FSR 3 and start to use some of these other features that are exclusive to the Xbox consoles. Anyways, we're going to move on from that because we got a lot of things to talk about today. Now, we're going to go over to Florian Miller's page, and he was talking about the FTC. I guess some people were saying, oh, you're defending the FTC. And he says, just so no one thinks I'm defending the FTC's litigation conduct concerning Microsoft, Activision Blizzard has absolutely been outrageous and disingenuous from the get-go. They purposely delayed the PI motions until shortly before a contractual deadline. They engaged in forum shopping. Microsoft would have to agree to litigate the PI motion in DC. They asked Microsoft questions like they were Sony's negotiators. They wanted Judge Corley and the appeals court to ignore relevant facts, a 10-year agreement. They insulted human intelligence by asking Phil Spencer a question that was incredibly equated the one-time cost of third-party exclusives with an acquisition of a profitable company. They argued on their own decision should be treated as an applicable case of law when they sue companies in federal court. They disclosed confidential and sensitive business information. They knew that Nintendo's next console would offer a far higher level of performance, yet disputed that Call of Duty could run on the next Switch and that Nintendo was part of the relevant market. They pursued the console's theory of harm after virtually everyone else dropped it. Now, someone asked here if Microsoft can sue the FTC for leaking this confidential information. And he goes on to say that they can request sanctions and they could talk to the US politicians about whether the FTC's misconduct warrants an oversight hearing that could have serious consequences. Now, you know my thing with the FTC. Lena Khan was extremely incompetent. She lost this case. It wasn't even close. In fact, their evidence actually proved Microsoft's points. And this was said by politicians. This was said by the judge. Now, this is petty action, in my honest opinion, that these documents are being leaked right now. The FTC, what they did, it had a consequence. Their funding was cut by a huge amount. They got scolded in public in front of Congress. And I really do believe that they're being petty at this moment, releasing this information. And I say that because not one drop of Sony information was leaked today. It's unbelievable. You can't make this stuff up. Now, this is the biggest leak of the day, in my opinion. Now, Microsoft is going to be releasing a new diskless Xbox Series X design with a new controller. The Xbox Series X, the new version of it, will launch next November. It will have a front USB-C port, 2 terabytes of storage, Wi-Fi 6E, and Bluetooth 5.2. This is insane. And once again, this is leaking. This hurts Microsoft. Nobody knew about this. I didn't know about this at all. It's ridiculous. We all know that the PlayStation Slim is coming out. Now, we're hearing some reports that it's pushed back to next year. It's going to come out with the PlayStation 5 Pro. So Microsoft releasing a new Xbox console would have caused excitement if it was announced closer to that time. This also lets the competition see what you have and they can make adjustments. So this is definite harm to Xbox. And I do think that Microsoft should go after whoever leaked this information because it's going to affect their bottom line. It's unbelievable, but it's leaked. The information is here, so we're going to talk about it. Now, all the topics that I talked about today, I will link them in the description down below so you guys can check it out for yourself. Now, this is coming from Tom Warren over at The Verge. And man, this is a doozy. Now, the article reads, the FTC versus Microsoft documents reveal plans for a cylinder-shaped, all-digital 2 terabyte Xbox Series X, plus a new two-tone controller with modular thumbsticks. This is unbelievable. Now, I've said this a long time ago. I've said this on RDX. I've said this right here on the channel. I believe that Microsoft should never have released the Series S. They should have released a diskless Xbox Series X. I think that would have been the best play. But we're here. It is what it is. But Microsoft is now trying to right that wrong with an all-digital 2 terabyte Xbox Series X. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of a spoiler before we get into this article. The new system also comes with a new controller that has haptic feedback. Now, I was never one of those guys that complained about haptic feedback or said it wasn't good. I never did any of that capping. I've always said it was good and I enjoyed it in my games. I like to play it on PC for the games that do support it. The haptic feedback is an awesome thing on the PlayStation 5's controller. No doubt. Anyways, my point is this is a great thing for the Xbox. Obviously, they're probably going to sell these controllers separately, but apparently this is going to come with the all-digital 2 terabyte Xbox Series X. Now, let's get into how this looks. And we're going to read some of their marketing stuff here. So it says, give our fans more to love, beautiful and innovative new design, more internal storage for games, 2 terabyte, USB-C front port with power delivery, all new, more immersive controller, same great price at $499. Now that is huge. It's going to be the same price and you're going to get an extra terabyte of storage. Now, updated technologies, all new Southbridge and modern I/O and sustainable efforts. Wi-Fi 6E radio for better throughput, latency, and interface mitigation. Bluetooth 5.2 radio for improved accessory experiences. 6nm die shrink for improved efficiency. So they are shrinking it. So this is going to be a smaller Xbox Series X. It's going to be more efficient. Will it give us better performance? I don't know. Let's see. Let's read into it. Reduce PSU power by 50%. New low power stability mode is, new low power standby mode is 20% of current Xbox Series S in standby mode. Increased use of PCR on housing to 30%. 100% recyclable packaging. It will deliver 4K Gen 9 console gaming with more internal storage, faster Wi-Fi, reduced power, more immersive controller, and a beautiful redesign that elevates all the digital experience from the Xbox ecosystem. Now, if you're going to go so far to do a refresh like this, I'm just going to keep it 100 here. Why would you not make this system more powerful? I don't understand that because we know next year a PlayStation 5 Pro is coming out. And if the specs are to be believed, it's going to perform quite well at 4K 60, especially with ray tracing. So for you to do a refresh and not make it more powerful, I think it's an oversight. And maybe this is a blessing in design, this leak coming out, because maybe fans will think what I'm thinking, like, why are you releasing another console, but it's not going to be more powerful? It's going to be the same thing, you know, with more storage. Okay, I got to be fair. It's also going to have better efficiency, so it's going to lower your power bill, okay? But overall, it's not a more powerful system. So some fans might not like that. If they're very vocal about that, maybe Microsoft will reconsider that. And I'll get more into that as I get into this video. Today's going to be a very long video. Like I said, there's a lot of information. We even know when the next generation will begin. Yeah, we got a lot of information today. So let's go down to the controller. Now, it's a Play Anywhere controller, Xbox Wireless 2, Direct to the Cloud, Bluetooth 5.2. Now, Direct to the Cloud, I guess it's going to be something like the Stadia controllers, so you're going to have very low latency, rechargeable and swappable batteries. Now, that's very important. Now, this is the best of both worlds. You can use a rechargeable battery pack, or you can use your own batteries. I think this is the best thing ever. The PlayStation controller, first of all, it dies quickly. The battery pack is awful. And once it dies out, that's it. You cannot use that controller again. You're either going to have to, go to AliExpress or somewhere, get the battery and put it in. And be honest with you guys, most users aren't going to do that. They're just going to throw the controller away and they're going to use another one. Now, when you have a battery pack that you can swap out for normal batteries, I think that's the best option. It's the best of both worlds. Now, they say it's going to be durable and reliable. New module thumbsticks. So I think these thumbsticks, you can take them in and out, similar to what's found in the PlayStation 5 Dual Edge. Improved longevity, continuous build improvements. There's just so much to go through here. It's going to have precision haptic feedback, VCA haptics doubles as speakers, accelerometer, quieter buttons, and thumbsticks. So in short, it's going to be very similar to the experience that you get on the PlayStation 5 Edge controller, but it's going to be an Xbox controller. So right off the bat, you know that the battery is going to last longer. Now, if you guys want more information on this, I'll probably cover it in a different video. I'll also link it in the description down below so you guys can check it out for yourself. Now we're going to move on over to a doozy. Microsoft is targeting 2028 for a next generation Xbox console, according to the internal Microsoft documents from the FTC versus Microsoft case. Once again, this is coming from Tom Warren, and as you can see on the screen, next gen for Xbox starts in 2028, and that is just unbelievable. Now, I've been saying for quite some time that Microsoft should do a mid-gen refresh, that these systems are not going to hold up for too long. Now, to expect the Xbox Series X to hold up till 2028 when we know that a PlayStation 5 Pro is coming next year is just insane to me. I think that is definitely a mistake. 2028? You know how long away that is? That is 5 years away for next generation to begin on Xbox. And to think that these consoles will hold out until then, listen, I just don't think so. I think technology, it's moving a lot faster. I don't know if Microsoft is counting on the cloud, or they just don't think that the progression will happen that quickly on the console space, or that console gamers don't care about that. But I think that is a mistake. I think you're definitely going to have to release a next generation console before 2028. Now, I could be reading this wrong because it says full convergence. So that could be when they cut off the Xbox Series X and the S and just go completely with whatever the next generation console is. It could also be that, and I would hope so. But at the very least, the full next generation of Xbox doesn't begin until 2028, and that is so far away. So I hope in the time from now to then, we do get a refresh on the Xbox Series X that's not just slimmer and more power efficient, but offers better performance. Now, I don't want to get too cynical in all of this, but this generation, when Unreal Engine 5 games become the norm, a lot of the games are going to run at 30 FPS. And I don't think a lot of gamers want to go back to 30 FPS. That's why I feel a next generation refresh is needed. Now, to wait until 2028 to jump into the next generation for the Xbox is going to be a long time, especially with the rumored PlayStation 5 Pro coming out next year. Now, I think it's good that they have a slimmer Xbox that is more power efficient, that's going to offer more features, that has a better controller. I think that's going to bode well when the PlayStation 5 Slim comes out. But what about the PlayStation 5 Pro? Microsoft not having an answer for the PlayStation 5 Pro, I do believe is not a good thing. Now, they can answer a year later, but Microsoft has been pretty adamant. Phil Spencer has gone on record saying that no mid-generation refresh is happening for the Xbox. That, in fact, the Series X is the mid-generation refresh. And if we look at their internal documents, it doesn't appear that Microsoft is ready to drop a next generation Xbox system until 2028. Anyways, I want to know what you guys think about all of this. Personally, these leaks today, they're very interesting, but they're also very damaging to Xbox as their competitors can see their plans. Some of these things should not have been made available. I think that the FTC has to be held accountable here, and I think that Microsoft should do something about it. Now, I also think this could be a blessing in disguise as we see some of their plans. Some of us right now are shaking our heads saying, what are you doing? And I think that releasing a next generation console all the way out in 2028 is a huge mistake. Anyways, let me know what you thought about today's topics in the comment section down below. Like I usually say, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one.